Okay. Welcome to episode 2 of Flick Fusion, and we are going to be covering The Nightmare Before Christmas by Tim Burton. Um, so we have our Jack Skellington, played by Danny Elfman, and he's
Mhm.
also the music composer. I had told you the story about how he went to go record the audio himself, and then told before he could tell Tim Burton was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Like you can play Jack, you can
You
sing,
could
right?"
play Jack.
And then you and me didn't know that Sally was played by Catherine O'Hara,
I was so surprised. Like,
right?
that's crazy.
And those of you that don't know who that is, she is the mom that from Beetlejuice, Lydia's mom, and she's also the mom from Home Alone. And she comes out in other movies, but those are the ones that people mainly know her from, and a
Mhm.
couple other films that I haven't seen. The mayor is played by Glenn Shadix, and he also comes
That
out in
was
Beetlejuice. That one we did not know. That was a
no.
surprise. He is
I,
if you wonder who he is, he's Otho from Beetlejuice. The one that's like what's it? Town meeting tonight, right? And then Mr. Oogie Boogie is played by Ken Page, and Santa Claus is played by Edward Ivory. Um, okay, you wanna start us off?
okay. So in the beginning, it starts off with like a monologue, and then like you see like the camera going through like the trees, and like it shows all the doors to like the different holidays.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was cute because like all the little details and stuff, and
Yeah.
then like it's not like CGI or anything.
Hmm.
It's like what was it like stop motion? You said.
Yeah, stop motion.
So like the time it took to make
I
that
know.
was
I might be wrong, but I think it was 3 years, about 3 years. And then they had to do 60 movements per se, like 60 frames per second.
that's
That's
crazy.
that's crazy.
All the work.
Yeah, and later I'll talk about a part that I mentioned. Um I like how the monologue's kind of mysterious because he's like, let's talk about like how the holidays begun, right? And like it's all the holidays, but it
Hmm.
only does obviously Halloween and Christmas. But
Yeah,
like it'd be kind of nice to see what the all other holidays look like.
I know.
It'd be so
Ah,
cute.
imagine if they like made like more movies of like Nightmare Before Christmas, but like with the different
Yeah,
holidays. That'd be
that'd be
so
cool.
cool.
But I feel like they'd ruin it nowadays. They'd probably ruin it
We
nowadays.
can't have anything nice no
We
more.
can't have anything nice. All right. And then we start off with a shot. I never noticed this, but we start off a shot with Jack when This Is Halloween begins to play. It's the scarecrow that has Halloween Town on top of it in the very beginning.
Mm,
And then later we see that scarecrow get put on like a wooden horse and that ends up being Jack. I didn't
that's
notice that, but that was cool. Um,
oh also I was gonna mention so like when this as the song's going, I don't know if you noticed, like I kinda like there's like this one part, I think it kinda looks like um what I don't know what he was, but he had the snake fingers.
oh,
It's like in
and the spiders in my hair, right?
yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but they kind of reminded me of like the snakes from Beetlejuice.
I didn't
Like
I didn't think
no,
about that. No.
like literally and the only reason it
Like
it brought up to me,
the one that the earthworm?
it had like the fingers, and they reminded me of like the little worms. I'm like,
That's
ew.
funny. I think I'm pretty sure this movie came out before Beetlejuice, no? I don't know
I don't
actually.
know. I
Hmm.
don't think we looked at the date.
And then after the entire song, Jack as the scarecrow, he like catches himself on fire and
Uh-huh.
then dives into the fountain and then he's like dun dun dun, dun. Right. That part was cool. And then you see his little like bow tie like open up. That was really cool.
Hmm.
Um Then right after the song, the doctor grabs Sally and he tries to like take her away, right?
Oh
Because she
yeah,
she had gone
he's
to like the event.
Yeah,
And
because he
then
doesn't want her to like do anything. Like,
yeah, literally. And she like undoes her arm, right? She does undoes the stitching on her arm and he like falls over.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um then
And then
after
doesn't
that,
doesn't Jack sneak away from like the crowd?
hmm
Yeah.
I wrote down that he walks away from crowd and then he passes the jazz players and then they're
Mm.
like da na 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 and then they call him like Bone Daddy or something like that. Cause he like
Really?
flips it. Yeah, he like flips the coin into their cup and then they're like, thanks,
Oh.
Bone Daddy, right? I was like, that was pretty funny. And then he's like sad or he
Yeah,
that's
he's sad.
that's he's sad, right? Or
Yeah,
he's
he's
like
sad. He's
yeah.
kind of in like depression mode.
No, like, he's I was about to say like he's more than sad, like depressed.
Yeah, only because like I feel like, well, like to him Halloween's the same every year, so he's like, "Ah,
So it's
give
not
me
like
a change."
it doesn't feel special to him anymore.
Mm-mm.
And then we get a shot of Sally in her arm. I mean Sally in her arm, Sally in the graveyard.
There you go.
And like what's she doing in the graveyard?
I think she was. I don't know if she was like looking at the flowers,
Hmm.
but then like, isn't that when like Jack goes? Oh, I think was that the part where she's like picking the deadly shade flowers
That's after he sings.
after? Yeah,
After. I think she had just gone to go pick them, but
just to
then
go.
yeah, and then she hears the gates open, so she hides behind the gravestone. And then that's when Jack begins to sing his no, he's walking and then he like doesn't he snap his fingers and zero comes up from the graveyard?
Yeah,
And then he begins to start singing the song that's called Jack's Lament, where he's like just like singing about his feelings about everything. And then he ends up I like this song just because like it starts off slow and then like it gives you I wrote down it gives you that shot of him the hill and then the moon and him on it, right? It's like
mhm,
beautiful. And then when he starts like ramping it up like he makes the pumpkin scream and like the ghosts come out. And
yeah.
then after that, like like he takes off his head. He's like, I can take off my head and read Shakespeare carrying no cake. I don't know what he says. It's like Shakespearean quotations. Yeah, that's what he says. And then like after that he like calms down and then like he's like he's just sad. He's like,
He
these
doesn't it?
empty bones. It's like and he walks
Literally.
away. No, like he's so sad, and then he walks away. It's nice because it really shows how like like even though Jack's dead, like he can still feel because like later on in the film he kind of gets arrogant and like he doesn't really care much. He just cares about like Christmas, Halloween, like he doesn't care about like what could go wrong and stuff. But then here
Yeah.
like he's like more down to earth, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, after he leaves, oh, I wrote too that the hill is alive because as he's
Yeah, because
walking,
it
it
like
like
it's like going down with
unspirals.
them. Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. And then after that, Sally gets the deadly shade,
Oh
uh,
yeah, and she takes
night
it back with
deadly
her.
nightshade plant, yeah, and she puts it in the jar. And then, um, that's when the doctor mentions that that she drugged him like 3 days in a row, and then
Is
like
it? Doesn't he say that as he's like sewing her arm back together?
yeah, he's like, well, you did drug me. Like, he's like, you did put me to sleep like 3 days in a row. He's like, but you're my creation. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. She's like, I know. And then, that's when Jack tosses like his rib, like a rib cage bone
He like, here you go.
for Zero.
It goes zero.
And then he just keeps walking. And then the next shot is the
The
mayor.
mayor like looking for Jack.
And at first they're, is it, no, that's not when they start singing Something's Up with Jack. That's later,
No,
right?
yeah,
That's
because I think the mayor he goes to Jack's house to go look for like or to go tell him about next Halloween's plans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it just ended. He's
I
like, we
know,
only
right?
have, what does he say? He's like, we only have 365.
360, yeah, 364. It's like the werewolf.
Yeah, actually 364.
I wonder what he is, cause like he's like Two-Face, but not. You know what I mean? Like, cause like he has his normal face, and then when
He
he gets
looks like a pointy potato.
okay, yes, that's exactly
He's
what
a
he is.
pointy, he's a pointy potato.
And then doesn't well he panics and then he like falls down the stairs, and then Jack
Oh yeah.
then it goes to Jack and he finds the trees, right?
Yes.
He finds the trees and then he like looks through all of them, but Christmas catches his eyes because it's all sparkly in the
Yeah.
tree. And then he opens the door, and then like this like weird gust of wind like
Like,
pulls him
yeah,
in.
with like snow.
Hmm.
'Cause he's
And
like,
then
oh,
he like wakes up under snow or something, right?
yeah, I think, yeah.
He takes a bite out of it too. That snow looks so good. I don't know why.
I
Like he like
know.
grows. He's like, ah.
You add some like little flavoring to it and just be like,
Mm-hmm. And then he explores Chris. At first, we thought it was Christmas Land, but it's actually just Christmas
it's
Town.
Christmas now.
He
It,
explores
I think
Christmas Town.
everything, I think like it's Halloween Town and Christmas Town, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be like Easter Town and Thanksgiving Town,
Easter City.
Easter City.
Um, and then from there, he's like, he's just singing, and then by the end of the song, what is it? What's this? What's that? That's the song that he sings. There's something
Uh-huh.
in the air. And then
Actually, seeing that, I really like how much work they actually had, like put into it because like
I
it looks so
know
pretty.
it looks so smooth and pretty. You know what caught my attention too? The stop motion on the train when he's moving on the train. Like, did they have to move the
Oh,
wheels like per second and then move him along with it? Because it's so smooth. And then the little cotton, like how'd they move that
yeah,
along? Like, did they put a
yeah.
string,
I have no idea.
right? And then the one part where he's sliding down the mountain and then pops up and it follows along with him. That camera shot is so good. I don't know, like they did some hard work for this movie.
They really did.
And then when he hits the candy cane pole, he's like he gets his wish because he finds Christmas Town, and then that's when
Hmm.
he hears Santa, and
Yeah,
then um that's when the it goes back to the mayor panicking. He's
yeah.
announcing that Jack has disappeared, and he's like sound the alarms, and it's like a cat. It's like right.
It's like the most annoying sound like ever. Imagine hearing that in the morning.
Mhm. And then Sally puts the deadly nightshade
There
in the
she goes
soup.
again.
There she goes again. Frog's breath to like put away the
To like
smell.
get rid of the smell.
And then I'm guessing worm score is just a flavoring.
Yeah.
And then she goes to give it to the dude, but then he's like, not until you try some. And then she's like, I'm not hungry.
Because doesn't he, is it the frog's breath he smells?
Yeah. So because he knows she's like trying to cover something up. She's like, it's
Yeah.
suspicious. And then
But
um, she knocks the spoon off of his hand and then hides it and then takes out one that has like holes in it.
yeah.
And then
And
she's
then she
like,
like,
hmm,
mm, mm,
scrumptious.
mm.
And then like the guy like she puts it down and the guy looks at it, he's like
Doesn't even need the spoon no
I
more.
know. Like he was fucking that suit up, dude.
Literally.
And
Like you
then
can even see it. It's like all over his face.
yeah, he's just knocked out. And then from there, Jack returns with Christmas stuff.
Hmm.
And then he
And
announced
then he has like
he tells the
town meeting.
mayor, yeah, the town meeting. And then it shows the doctor asleep and then Sally sneaks out to the meeting.
Yeah.
And here comes
It's,
another song. What are you gonna say?
uh, that does it when he gets there, isn't he like trying to explain to them how like Christmas like works and like the different things, but then they're trying to like make it all
Halloween.
about Halloween. And
Yeah,
he's like, God dang it. Like, you don't
yeah.
understand.
That's what I don't know what the song's called, but it's like he's like singing to them about Christmas, but then they're like, "Does it bite? Does it snap? Does it come in a pack or something like
Yeah.
that?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Does it scare girls and boys? This Christmas idea, it sounds like fun." Dun, 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 right? And then he's like, "No, no, no! Like you have it all wrong." And then that's when like at the end like he gives in, right? Because like he's done trying to convince them. So then at
Yeah.
the end, that's when he's like, but there's one like ruler of Christmas land. He's like, and his name is
Yeah.
Sandy
Oh,
Claus. And it's funny because I never noticed, but I always thought they just said Santa Claus in a different way. But they thought Santa Claus was Sandy Claus.
class.
I thought it was so funny. And
Like
then
the, wait, when was it? I don't think I wrote it down, but the equation.
oh, that comes later. That
Yeah.
comes later. And then when the curtains close, that's when he's like, "Oh, like they don't understand that
Yeah.
Christmas is like different, right?" And so then what happens next?
Um,
Oh,
doesn't
and then
Sally,
he goes back home and he starts reading Christmas stories because I saw it was like Christmas carols and then Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by the
yeah.
fireplace. And then the doctor locks up Sally. Yeah.
And then doesn't she like escape again?
Hmm.
She like takes her body parts and like wee. Oh wait, no. She jumps out the window and then she just like lay on the
Isn't
floor.
she
Like
making like a
she
concoction or
makes them.
something for Jack?
I think she made like a little basket for him.
That was really
And
cute.
then I think with the like a little rope, she like let it down.
Hmm.
And then
I was telling you about that, wasn't it? About the
yeah,
camera shot, like the work, because
that's
like imagine like doing that, like having to build that set and then put the
like
camera like there,
literally. And then
and then
like
she's
you
like,
see Sally just like
and then we had mentioned that she had leaves inside her body, which is
yeah,
weird.
she stuffed with leaves
Hmm.
and she like sews herself together.
That's funny. Oh, and then okay, right after that night, or she disappears because she runs away right after she leaves the basket and then she
She
hides.
she hides behind like it's like outside. I think it was like right outside Jack's house, like the
Yeah,
little like the
like the
what
gate.
is it? Like the stone gate kind of thing.
Mhm. And then there's some foreshadowing here. I wrote that down because she right after she hides she like picks the flower, right? And then she's pulling it and it's like Christmas and then it like burns up and so I put like
Yeah.
foreshadowing because it foreshadows like what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day that's when the vampires come out and they're like, something's up with
Something's
Jack,
up with Jack.
something's up with
Something's
Jack.
up with
And then like the little kids are like, hope he hasn't died. And
Oh
then
no.
it shows him like in his library or something, like a laboratory near his
Yeah.
house, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's the
That's
next song where he sings how does the song go?
uh,
He's like I know he's like frustrated, no?
mm, a little. I think so. Cause
Yeah.
like he wants to have Christmas, or
But
like
he's
he
like
don't know.
he
Yeah.
can't figure it out. And that's when we
Yeah.
see on the board he has like what is it, chestnuts over open fire divided by what was it? Divided by like Christmas hat or something. It was like divided by
It
something
was
and then
something like
it was
that.
like square root 12 over December 25th
Yes.
plus no and then 25th times like Sandy plus Claus equals Christmas. It was so
And I
funny.
like how they did that because like they wrote Sandy and then instead of like writing the word claws, they drew
It's
like a little claw.
like a little crab claw. It's so cute.
I'm like, oh, and it's funny too because I've never noticed that.
Mm-mm. That's the
Like
first time.
I can look at the equation, but I never realized that it was Sandy Claus.
instead of
with the little.
Santy. Like, it's cute. That's what like when he was singing to them, he was like Sandy Claus. And they're like,
Oh,
oh, we forgot to mention that when Sally jumps, the doc is like he like checks on her, and then he's like, gone
yeah.
again. Um,
Uh,
and then
and is after he's done singing or yeah, singing, doesn't he um like give people certain like tasks to do to like
he visits. I have here that after that he visits the doctor, and then he asks him if he can work on
oh
the
yes, to
reindeers.
the reindeer. Yeah.
And
He
then
goes there.
right after that, as he's giving them like the stuff for the Christmas items, that's when he calls over Boogie's boys,
Yeah.
and they're called Luck, Shuck, and Merrill, right? And then that's when he tells them to go steal Santa Claus, but not to tell Oogie Boogie. And then
Yeah.
they're like they have like their fingers crossed.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
And then from there he tells right after that he like tells the jazz players to play is it Jingle Bells?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Da, da,
And then
da,
he's like ding,
da, da,
ding,
da,
ding, ding,
da,
ding,
da,
ding,
da,
ding,
da.
ding, ding.
And
And
then
then
the
like they're playing it and it sounds so depressing. I'm like, oh
yeah,
no.
their instrument it's like
This that was actually so good.
and that's oh okay. And then from there you're gonna have to carry it from here. I have no more notes.
Oh,
Um
oh.
yeah. So
Okay.
from here what I remember is we follow right after that, Sally goes to
Sally
warn
goes.
Jack, right?
Hmm. And
And
then instead of like listening to her, he's like, "Oh, I need you. Like, you have the most important job of all. Like, you need to make my soup." But she's
mhm,
like, "No, like you don't understand." And then he's like, "No, no, no, not my Christmas. Like, it'll be fine."
mhm.
And then Sally's like,
And
and
she's like,
then
make my soup. Where's
literally,
and after that, that's when we follow the Boogie Boys, and
yes,
they have their own little song with it. Going to steal Santa Claus, right?
yeah,
I don't know how it goes though. It's like, it's like birds of a feather of the kind la 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 la
la
la
la la
la
la.
la 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 la. Oh, kidnap Mr. Santa Claus, put him in a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it shows them like getting all these weapons from Boogie's like
Mm,
place. And then I've never do you know why Mr. Oogie Boogie always rolls snake eyes? Because like in that part when they throw the insect in there, he rolls snake eyes, right?
yeah.
And then when we see him again, he like rolls it, he's like, snake eyes, and then he like hits the table to like change it. It you know why? I don't know if that's
Mhm.
like a thing. Um
Hmm.
um
I didn't
and
even
then they end up kidnapping the
the
Easter Bunny,
Easter
no?
Bunny instead of
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
So then he apologizes to the bunny. It's like all sad.
And like it's like all scared, like he's shaking
Uh-huh.
and he like runs back in the little trash bag. I'm like, oh,
Oh.
the poor bunny.
And then that's when you're saying the doctor makes the reindeers with Igor,
Yeah.
and he
He's
like
so
feeds
cute.
he feeds them the little
He
treat.
like here's a little snack and then he like
And then from here you had mentioned when they start making Christmas.
they're like singing and then they're making like all the Christmas presents. But instead of being like normal Christmas presents, they're like little miniature heads and like
They're like evil.
creepy vampire dolls.
Yeah. And
And
then
then like you can tell like when it goes back to Jack, you can tell like he's like all happy because like it's all coming together. He's like,
mhm.
and then I think after that it goes to Christmas Town and then
Santa Claus has
it's
his list, right? He's like,
yeah, it's like it goes and like his elves are making all the like the
Mhm.
actual toys, and then you go inside and then oh wait, no. So you see like the elves making the toys and like stocking the stockings, and then it cuts to the part where the scientist is like getting the reindeer, like I think he's like electrocuting them,
mm,
like to bring
to
them to
bring him to
life.
life. Yeah. Did you know his name? It's similar to Frankenstein when we're looking up the cast. It's like Finkelstein. That's his name.
Finkelstein. Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Dr. Finkelstein.
Finkelstein. And then it goes to it goes back to Christmas Town and like the elves are like making the sleds and stuff.
Mhm.
And then um oh that's when they make the sleds and then they fill the stockings. And then Jack is it goes to Halloween Town and Jack is like putting all his stuff, like the sled, the toys and everything back in. And then it goes back to Halloween Town. And then that's when Santa Claus is like
Halloween, Christmas Town?
Christmas Town, not Halloween
Oh,
Town.
Christmas Town.
Yes, yes. Um, yes, it goes to Christmas Town, and then he's like checking off like the good kids and the naughty kids,
Uh-huh.
and that's when the three Oogie Boogie boys um and girl
The two
and
boogie boys and girl, yeah.
are knocking at Santa's door, and like Santa's like he opens it, and he's like, and then I think they're like down here, and then they like scoop them in the bag. They're like,
Yeah.
you're coming with us,
And then right after that, they take him back to Jack, right? And
Jack.
that's when he opens the bag and he like
Santa's not
apologizes. Yeah, he like apologizes, and then he's like, they're just talking, right? And then that's when like Jack takes
Jack
like his
notices the
hat.
hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after like Santa Claus is like after the Jack is done, he's like, oh, take him back to his house or take him back to like
Or
Christmas
he's
Town.
like, make no, I think he doesn't return him back to Christmas Town only because like if he did, Santa Claus just can go and like deliver the present. So I think Jack says like, oh, make Santa comfortable, and then that's when they take him to
Oh,
Oogie
till
Boogie.
Christmas is over, right?
Yeah, because then the Oogie Boogie kids
They take him. Oh yeah, so yeah, because Jack doesn't know that they take him to Oogie Boogie,
yeah
and like
because
that's when we get the Oogie Boogie song, right?
yeah yes.
hmm And he's like torturing Santa.
Yeah, I find it funny how like when they were saying how like when they try to shove him down the little pipe and and they're like he like if he can fit down the chimney he can fit down this pipe and like
Yeah, like, and then you see him like,
um
and then isn't Oogie Boogie like as soon as he lands in, he's like, what have we here? Santa Claus. Ooh, I'm very scared. Like Oogie Boogie is so funny. He's like so sassy.
I
He's like,
know
he's like Christmas. He's like, ooh, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. What
And then
else?
he's like, you're joking. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes. And then
Isn't
I
I what were you say?
I'll save it for after we're done.
Oh, it is. I think after the kids take Santa, um, after the kids take Santa,
That's when they
Sally,
have like
Sally,
the sleigh done, right? Or
yeah,
Sally.
yeah, they have everything done, and I think Jack is like ready to go, but Sally's like, no, like this can't happen. So she goes and she gets the fog juice,
hmm
and then she like pours it in the little fountain that they have there to make it all foggy, and
Oh,
then
so that they can't see, right?
yeah,
And then that's when Zero is like Rudolph, right?
he's
With
like,
his red nose. He's
yeah,
like, lead the way.
lead the way.
And then after so Jack goes to deliver all the presents to the kids in Christmas Town. Or I don't
Mm,
understand. Are those kids in Christmas Town or are they? Yeah, they are.
I think they are in Christmas Town because there's like a shot of like yeah because the like um Jack is like going through like the
Oh,
houses
and
and
the
you can
little
see the
kids are
decorations.
sleeping.
Yeah,
But
they're
aren't those
sleeping and then
elves? Aren't those elves though?
no because you know how like the well when he's singing he's like he goes through the elves like those ones are elves like the ones where like they're sleeping in the bed and there's like 10 of
Mhm.
them in one bed.
Yeah.
And then I would not be comfy sleeping in that
Mm-mm.
bed. But Jack when Jack finally takes off, um
I
yeah, when Jack
swear,
when
I swear, like I feel like it's like each holiday town is like its own world, and then like the human world is like in the middle. So like whenever it's their holiday, they get ready and then they go to it.
I don't know because there was like a bunch of houses with like little kids, but they look like normal.
They look normal, right? They don't look like elves.
Like the first house he went to, when he delivers the when he like crashes on the roof, like makes the biggest, loudest thud,
Yeah,
and then like the kid wakes up and he goes and he sees Jack, and
or
then
Santa.
Jack's like or Santa, and then he's like, oh, I got a present for you. Gives him the present. Poor kid opens the present and then his parents are like, "Oh, what did Santa bring
It's
you?"
like a head, right? Yeah.
He's like,
But that's what I'm
"What
wondering,
is
like,
this?"
is that regular human town like in Christmas town? Or because then it'd be all Christmassy. Because like later on, like they have like a whole army and like police force. So like that's what I'm saying, like, is that little world like the real world, and then all the holiday towns are like they're like setting up for their holiday, right? Because like Halloween Town sets up for Halloween. That's where they get ready to celebrate it. And then because it's that time around, and then for Santa Claus, he has to deliver presents. So in Christmas Town, it's filled with Santa Claus and elves, right? And then when it's holiday time, they go to the real world. That's why they look different than the
Mm,
elves. You know what
I
I mean?
think so. Yeah.
Because like out of nowhere, like after Jack is delivering all those presents, like um the parents are calling the cops, right? And then they send like a militia after
Yeah.
after Jack, and they're like shooting like a
It's
ballista,
funny
like
because Jack is like, "Oh, look, Zero, they're like celebrating us."
and
And
it's like
then
the
like
full on like cannon is like
and then he's like and then one of like the shots had hit Jack and he's like, "Hey, watch it down there." But like
Mhm,
he's like clueless. And
mhm.
then as he like goes, like he's like, "Hey, like they're trying to hit us."
Yeah,
He's like, "Go Zero."
yeah. And like aren't the Halloween Town people like watching Jack? They're like this little pot, right?
Hmm.
And then they're like after he gets like he like gets shot and his sleigh explodes, and then like that's when the mayor's like, Jack is dead, he's been blown to smithereens,
And they're like all
right?
playing like the sad songs.
And then after that it's doesn't Sally like,
Sally Sally
yeah,
goes because she sees Jack in like danger, so she goes and she tries to find Santa.
and she knows
Um,
that the boogie, like 'cause she remembers that the boogie boys took him, so they're like, oh,
mhm. Like you're there, she already
yeah.
knows where to
So
find him.
she tries to distract Mr. Oogie Boogie with her leg, her
Her leg.
juicy dead leg.
Oh, filled
Oh.
with
And
leaves.
I know, right? And then Oogie Boogie was he like takes off her shoe and he's like, oh,
Like
Gucci Gucci. I know he's like, oh.
he like
He's so
tickle tickle
funny.
tickle.
He's like, "Choo, choo, 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 choo." And then like it's funny because he's like messing with Santa, and he sees the leg and he's like, oh, what have we here?
What
It's
have
like,
we here?
and then as she tries she almost has Santa out, but then he
Yeah,
sucks
he's
in
like
everything. He's like, oh, and like it like
literally.
brings everything. And
Like,
then right
oh
after
no.
that, we go back to Jack. No,
Mm-hmm.
we go back to Jack,
And
and
he's still. that's when
How
he's
lo-
still flying.
is he? No, after when we go back to Jack, isn't he on like the statue or is he still on the sleigh?
Um,
Oh no, no, he
sorry.
doesn't get blown. Okay, so he's getting
No,
shot at, and then that's when
yeah,
Sally goes, and then after that, that's when he gets shot, right?
yes. It goes back and then he finally gets shot and then that's when he's falling.
Hmm.
And then, well, everyone back in Halloween Town, when they're looking at the pot, um, they see Jack like his sled like explodes. So
Yeah.
everyone thinks that the Pumpkin King is dead.
Uh-huh.
Like, no.
No.
Especially the mayor, he's going around like,
I know the mayor's so sad, and then he's like he's in the like a grave, like
yeah,
like
he falls like in a tiny like
and it
cemetery.
and it looks like a cemetery that belongs to like the human world, right?
Hmm.
Because like it looks normal. It doesn't look like the Halloween Town one. And
Hmm.
then I like how he's like laying on like an angel. It's like holding him.
It's like,
And then I like his suit in this one because it's like a torn Santa Claus outfit, but under it he has
yeah,
his Pumpkin King outfit. It looks really nice.
yeah. And oh,
Alrighty, so we left off with Jack is laying, he got blown up and then he falls on this angel and then in like a cemetery.
like in a cemetery.
And this is where he sings Poor Jack, right?
Poor Jack.
Because he's singing
And
the it like failed, this and that, and then right after he's all sad, and then
but I think he like towards the end, doesn't he like realize like he's supposed to be the Pumpkin
who
King?
yeah, because he's like here lies like poor Jack, and then that's when he realizes he's like, but like he's like, at least like I tried, and then he's like, even if I wasn't good at it, like I did it, and he's like, I even touched the sky and like this and that, and then he's like maybe like this Christmas thing didn't work out, but he's like, wait, like what the heck, like he's like, I'm the
I'm the
Pumpkin King.
Pumpkin King.
And then he's like, I can't wait for next Halloween. And then he's like, to give out all my ideas and stuff.
Yeah,
And then, but then he realizes he's like, oh shit, like I gotta fix things, right?
yeah,
And so then, he sees like the hat, and then I like how he opens the graveyard, or he opens like the casket or whatever, like the
yeah.
angel thing, and he walks in like a little portal or something, right?
Hmm.
And then,
He goes and finds Santa, or he needs to go and find Santa.
yeah, and that's when we go back to Oogie Boogie, and then he
Has Santa and Sally tied to like,
a little like table thing that has like a
yeah,
it's like cranked, and then what is it like molten metal or like he's about to like burn them alive or something.
literally, he's like gonna drop them in like
Like
like literal lava.
he's about to hit him with the Terminator 2. Mhm.
Yes,
Right? And then
yes.
that's when who notices Jack? Sally, right?
Sally notices Jack, and then um, as Oogie Boogie's um
Like,
like as he's like cranking the table and it's going like up more,
mhm.
like Mr. Oogie Boogie was like expecting like screams, but like he's like, what the heck? So he like turns the table over and then he sees
Jack's like
Jack and
on
like
it.
Jack's like, hello.
Hello. And it's funny, I like how so obviously Jack is like leader of
Yeah,
Halloween Town, I guess, because he's a Pumpkin King.
well, he's the
And it
pumpkin king.
and it's funny because at first you think that Oogie Boogie's scared of him, because Oogie
Yeah.
Boogie is like, like
Oh,
Jack.
yeah,
He's like the Pumpkin King's here. Like he's all scared. He's like, oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. And then that's when he's like, he's like, your suit. He's like, I thought you were dead. Now you're double dead. And he like clicks on like
Skip was dead.
he like steps on like the thing on the floor. And what does it activate? Like the cards with the swords, right?
Yeah,
And
actually, yeah.
they're trying to like chop him up, but like Jack is like he's just like jumping
He's
like
like, he's
right
like
through them.
dodging everything.
Yeah. And then he's like mad. He like Jack's super mad. Like he's super serious. And then after that, like doesn't Oogie Boogie pull a switch and like that's when the cards start to go down, but then like the guns, like
Mm,
it's like a slot machine, right? That has like
kinda,
a
yeah.
cowboy ring. And then he's like, kill 'em boys. And then they're
Kill
like,
them boy. But
and
like
he's like,
Jack is just like too cool. He's like
he's too cool. He literally, he like Matrix. He's like,
the
and
slow motion.
yeah, the slow motion. And he jumps on each one of them, and then Oogie
Yeah.
Boogie activates like a buzzsaw and it cuts like the guns off, trying to hit Jack.
Hmm.
And then from there he
Isn't
like
that like doesn't like part of his string get caught?
yeah, I think when he activates a buzzsaw, the button's like a skull and like it gets stuck on the tooth.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't get stuck, but it pulls a string to loosen it.
Uh-huh.
And then when he like gets on like this little spinny thing that was above the lava, right? And he's
Hmm.
trying to like get away, but then Jack sees the string.
He's like,
And, and what does he say? I know he says something to Oogie before he pulls the string.
oh,
He's like, oh, he was like, he says something about like trying to kill his friend or something, like something like that. And then he like grabs a string and he like pulls in. You hear it like rip, and
like,
then the string gets stuck on like the spinning part, so it fully rips off like the
yeah.
his whole
Mm.
body.
I thought that was really cool how like they made Mr. like Oogie Boogie out of bugs.
Mm-hmm.
And like you like as the like the string is just being like pulled, all the bugs like just start falling out of him.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
it's
that's
kind of weird
gross.
because they all are like one being. Because like as it comes off of him, like you hear every single bug be like, my bugs, my bugs, right? Like they're all talking as him, right? And then he's
It's
like slowly like falling apart. And then the last bug that's because they're all falling in the lava, and then the last bug that tries to run away, like Santa squishes it.
yeah.
And you know what I realized?
Mm.
The last bug that Santa squishes is the same bug that the Oogie Boogie boys give to him. Is remember when they
Oh,
dip it in the pond, it turns green, and then at the end it's the
yeah.
green bug.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
And actually, there's something too. I saw earlier that the studio before they released the film or as they were like making it, they had told Tim Burton that they wanted to make they wanted to make Mr. Oogie Boogie secretly be Dr. Finkelstein. So like at the end when like the cloth would rip off,
No way.
it'd be the doctor, but then Tim Burton like hated the idea. Like he hated it so much he like kicked a hole in the wall. Like we're
Really?
at the studio, like he like kicked a hole in the wall because he thought it was like the stupidest idea. Because his was the bugs, but then the studio was like, what if we made it the doctor? But then he was like, no, like I don't like that. Like that's really dumb. And
Like
then they kept the bug idea.
I think that the bug idea like was good. I feel like if it was the doctor, it makes sense like for him to try and kill Sally because all those times like he like
But it's
poisoned
like,
her.
isn't
But
he
like
like in a wheelchair? So it wouldn't make sense though.
yeah, so like and I don't know how you fit Oogie Boogie
And as the
and then
doctor,
the
yeah. Cause
doctor with
like,
the wheel.
yeah, like the doctor is like in the wheelchair, he's small, and then Oogie Boogie's like this like big dude, and like he's got like some groove to him. So like it would make no sense, right?
Yeah.
And then but it would kind of if they did it, you'd probably be like, oh, but like the doctor, like he invents things, so like him inventing like those traps and everything, you'd be like, oh, okay, okay. But I think
Maybe if he was like working with Oogie Boogie, but
yeah, maybe. I mean,
I don't
I don't know. I mean,
I
whatever floats his
the
boat.
bugs. Yeah.
And plus the bugs, I feel like they add more to Oogie Boogie's character. Cause then
Yeah,
you're
it's like
like,
gross.
cause then you think about it, you're like, oh shit, like if it took that many bugs to fill up his thing, like how is he even like a being? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
did he start off as one bug or like did one day like a bunch of bugs get together and then like they formed Oogie Boogie's personality. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what
Yeah.
is he?
And then like Oogie Boogie, Oogie Boogie.
Because like he's supposed to be the boogeyman, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But that is kind of strange. Um, okay, and then right after that, that's when they're riding back to Halloween Town, or they're already in Halloween
I
Town, but
think,
they're riding back, and it's like it's playing that song. It's like da la 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 la
wait, don't they
da.
get saved? Oh, I think they get saved or like, well, they obviously get saved by Jack, but then,
Oh yeah, you're right. Santa Claus is like have to go fix like what you like messed up, and then he's like,
he like that one scene from the Lorax where he like
oh,
was
pulls
like,
his butt cheeks. And then the Boogie Boys, the mayor is with the Boogie Boys and they save Sally and Jack, right?
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure the Boogie Boys only do it just because they want a reward from Jack.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then the mayor's just obsessed with him. Like, like
literally the mayor has kind of like a little problem,
he's got a problem.
just the itty bit,
And then
just kind of upset.
they ride back in the mayor's car, right?
Yeah,
And
Sally's
then
driving, I think.
really? I didn't
Yeah,
notice that.
I
Huh.
think because when they pull up like to like the little area, area,
Area.
um, I think Sally was the one driving because like everyone gets off and then she just likes sitting in the car.
So Jack's like passenger
Just
princess.
passenger princess,
Just like me.
literally you.
And then don't doesn't he what happens next? Oh no. They're all celebrating and then that's
Yeah.
when Sally walks away, right?
Mm-hmm. No,
And then oh, we missed a
no.
part. We missed a part. We missed a part. We missed Sally's song after Jack leaves on the sleigh
Oh,
where she's like is never meant to be.
yes.
It's like
Or
what
like
has become
she's
of
kind.
my
I
dear
think in that
friend?
song she's kind of like expressing her feelings towards Jack.
Towards Jack, yeah. But then she knows
Yeah.
it can't work out. And then after they rescue them, she walks off to the hill
Yeah.
and then she's sitting there picking a flower. And then Jack I was about to say this too. Jack begins to be like, my dearest friend, if you don't mind. And then he's singing, but then I don't know if you noticed, but Sally's song or the song that Sally and Jack sing at the end sounds like a reversed version of Sally's song. Because in Sally's song, she sings about how they're not meant to be, and then but like she's like he's my dearest friend, this and that, and then in Sally and Jack's song, he's like my dearest friend, if you don't mind, and then the same tone and stuff is there,
Hmm.
and then she's like and sit together, right?
Yeah.
And then in Sally's song, she's like, "We can't be together," right? So it's like,
Hmm.
and then at the end of her song, she's like, "We're simply not meant to be," right? Or no, we're
Yeah.
not meant to be. And then at the end of their song, it's like, "We're simply meant to be," right? So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And
And then,
then I think before their last song that they sing together,
uh-huh,
before that, Santa Claus he like flew above
you're right.
Halloween Town and he's like,
I
"Oh,
really
Merry."
like that.
I do too,
No,
cause like,
doesn't no. I like he doesn't say Merry Christmas. He says Happy
or
Halloween,
yeah,
and then
and
Jack says
then
Merry Christmas.
it starts snowing.
I thought that was really fun. He
Yeah.
doesn't he fix everything like super fast
Hmm.
and then he like flies by and he's like Happy Halloween and then like Jack's like Merry Christmas and like they're like what's this like because it's the snow and like I thought that was really fun and then
Yeah.
it starts snowing where like the cemetery is with the hill
And
and
then
then
that's when Sally goes to the cemetery and then she's
yeah.
picking like the flower.
hmm
And then Jack follows her and then they like, well, they sing their song
hmm
and then they're like, together forever.
Forever, yeah.
And then I thought it's cute how like it ended like with it zooming away and then they like hug each other and then like they like kiss and then it's like that's it.
That's
And
it,
then I
yeah.
like how they did it behind like the moon and like the mountain.
hmm
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It's so good. Just like the beginning. Just like the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, I really
It's
like yeah, like Nightmare Before Christmas, it's is iconic. It's like such literally like to be honest, I know it'd be nice to have like a sequel or a prequel or whatever, but honestly, like just having it its own thing
yeah.
is like enough, really.
Hmm.
Like even though it's just one movie, like that's what kind of ruins movies. Like there'll be one movie and then people will want more. And then when they
Yeah.
give them more, it's
It's
not as
not
good.
your
So then when
expectation.
yeah, it's not their expectations or it's not as good. So then when they ask them like, oh, what's your favorite movie? It's like the first one because it's the most iconic one. It's like, yeah, like no duh.
Yep.
Kind of like what they're gonna do with Beetlejuice. Like if they make us or like Hocus Pocus, like when we were talking yesterday about
Oh
that
yeah.
how
Yeah.
it should have just been a one deal thing, but then they made the second one and it was just like it wasn't necessary, right?
Because like the first one's like obviously the best one. And then
Yeah.
like with the second one, I'm like, I can't really watch it through because it's like,
It just feels it really honestly just feels lazy. The second one really feels lazy. And then I had a question. I had a question. Actually, it's for the both of us, but I already know my answer.
okay.
So, in this movie, there's multiple songs that are sang throughout. So my question is, what is your favorite one?
I knew you were gonna ask
I
that
know. It's
question.
like, what is your favorite one? Except you can't. Okay, so with the exception of this is Halloween because obviously
Okay,
this is
but like,
because obviously this is Halloween is like the number one song on there.
yeah.
It's like it's yeah, it's everyone's.
Um, I think it probably have to be the one with Jack in the cemetery.
The Poor Jack or
The what?
Jack's Lament.
No, the what? I don't know.
Jack's
The
Lament
one where
is
he's
in
where
the
he just like,
beginning.
oh no, not the beginning. The one
The Poor Jack.
I don't know. No, no. Um, um, the
Poor
one
Jack.
like yeah, like right after like he like explodes and he's laying on the angel
Uh-huh.
and like he's singing about like what he just did. But then I really liked how he realized like he's supposed to be the Pumpkin King.
Yeah.
So I thought
That's
that was yeah. Which one's your favorite?
Mine is Jack's Lament, which is the song he sings
Oh.
after the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Cause remember when we were trying to remember the songs, and that's like the only one I'd sing, right?
Yes.
Cause that was like my favorite one. Cause like I had mentioned earlier, I like how at first it's slow, and then he like gets enthusiastic, and he's like I can
Yeah.
take off, and then like afterwards like he continues, and like it really I think I like it just because it makes Jack feel like real, like he actually cares. Because then later
Mm-hmm.
on in the film, like he doesn't care what anyone has to tell him. Like he's like, I'm gonna do this and that. But then in the beginning, like he's passionate about Halloween and like you really
Mm-hmm.
like you see it. And then
Yeah.
he's like I have like a hole in like these empty bones, right? It's like I don't know, it's
Yeah.
just and then that's like the first shot we get of him on the mountain with the moon.
Mhm.
So I really like that. Um What do you have anything to say about the movie or any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I liked, well, obviously how much time they put into this movie.
Yeah,
Because like
stop.
you watch movies now and it's just like, geez,
Yeah.
but like,
It's just like overload CGI special effects. And like CGI isn't a bad thing unless it's like abused or like your whole it's just your whole movie, right? Like
yeah,
people could be like, oh, like it's the same thing for stop motion. Like it can be stop motion, but like not interesting. It's like, well, yeah, but like the thing is, one, like Nightmare Before Christmas, like it has a compelling story, and like
yeah,
most films that like do well have like messages in them, just like Jack's lament, and then like hit poor Jack when he realizes like what he's done, and like
Mhm.
it like inspires like change, right? And like realizing what you've done, right?
Yeah.
And like inspiring yourself to like do better, right? And then with that one with stop motion, like they if they had the technology, they could have just done a CJ, boom, 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 like Disney, like how they animate stuff, like oh,
Mhm.
boom, right? But no, like they're like, you know what, we're gonna do a stop motion, like even if it takes us forever, right? And like for example, like Disney's Elementals, like doesn't have a compelling story, doesn't have good characters written, like maybe it's animated by Disney, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean there's like hard work into it. And then from like a budget of like 500 million, I think they only made 51 million,
Yeah.
and
Like
that was
they,
like a flop too. So it's really like I don't know. I like effort in the films.
yeah.
Like I had said, like if I ever
Yeah.
made any,
Too.
I'd rather do practical effects, right?
Yeah. Because like you can like obviously you can see the effort and the time it took to put into this movie compared to like something that took like
Like
a few months to make and
like
then
a
that
few
was
months to make, yeah. Because this one took I think 3 years. Took 3 years to make, and the people that were the animators that were moving the figures, I think they had to sleep in the warehouse they were working in, because they
that's
would work like they would work 16 hours a day. That's crazy, right?
that that's a lot of work.
Yeah. And then like like I was thinking too, like Gremlins, uh the gizmo they made, it's like an animatronic, and it would
Yeah.
always break constantly. It would break constantly, and it was hard for them. So they would have to work like hours and hours just to get the first Gremlins movie. But then the second one, they used CGI for the Gremlins, and like um the story and the CGI, it's like it's like the CGI is like not that good, and then the story was kind of and it was just kind of like a not needed Gremlins 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's just in general, like older films have more effort in them than like films nowadays, because we
Yep.
have AI or whatever. Um, and I was gonna mention too, I don't know if you noticed, but when Jack's in the cemetery, when he's like got blown out of the sleigh, you notice how it's like the gates, and then around him it's like just the background. There's no city, no lights, no nothing. So
Hmm.
I was gonna mention that like that's the set, because that gray sky you see is like the curtains,
Yeah.
right? And then it's
Oh.
like the little set is the little cemetery that he's on, and they would move him, right? And so then that's what I was saying, like people could be like, oh, like it's not real because like you can't see like past that little set because
Yeah.
you just see like the background that they have. But it's like,
Hmm.
yeah, like but you can see the effort that they put into it. Like it
Yeah.
looks really good.
It looks really good.
Like this the little gravestones, the snow on the gravestones, like it's
And like
just
even in the beginning too, like the details with like the lines on the trees and like everything
hmm
and on the
yeah.
floor.
And that had to be a set too. The little beginning with the trees.
Yeah.
And then they probably had to get a camera and then like swish it through. Like it's so good. I don't know, like Nightmare Before Christmas is iconic. Absolute
Yeah.
masterpiece. Absolute
Absolute
masterpiece.
masterpiece.
Anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
No,
No? No? Okay, well, thank you for watching. Um,
thank you.
if you liked it, please comment down what movie you want to watch, or what movie you want us to watch and talk about next. Keep it October-ish. So because we were thinking Coraline, Beetlejuice, or another horror movie like The Conjuring 2 or Insidious. Insidious, right?
Insidious.
So, or give us a film that we actually haven't seen that's scary. Like we haven't seen The Blair Witch Project. We haven't seen a couple scary movies that are, I guess, are scary. I don't know. Um, but yeah, like thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.
Deuces.
Deuces.